Yes, this is all about smart sizing, our fancy new word for downsizing. We want you to downsize smart. It's not about the space, it's about the freedom. So whatever you decide, if you're moving from many acres to 1 acre, or from 1 or 2 acres back into a regular subdivision, or from a big house in a regular subdivision to a 55 plus community, whatever the case is, there are many options that you have. Many you're probably not even aware of. Now, just so you know, studies show that when you give somebody too many options, they tend to not make a decision. That's not what we're trying to do here. We want to make sure you are able to make a decision, but you need to know there are a few more options than what are typically offered. Because most of the time, a real estate agent only knows a couple ways to make this happen. We know a lot of ways to make this happen. I'm going to give you a quick overview. It's not going to be real detailed, but it'll give you the idea. It'll make the point. First of all, there are 2 paths. Now, those paths are what most agents consider your 2 options, but they're not. You can sell your home and then buy, or you can buy a home and move in and then sell. But there's a lot of options within those 2 paths that you can take. Let me show you what I mean. You can find a house before you ever put yours on the market and say, we love that house and we want to buy it. Now you've got to put your house in the market. That's a hard road to toe, because a seller is not going to be excited about you having to sell your house, especially if it's not on the market yet. I recommend very strongly that you follow our process to prepare your house and yourself so that when you take that type of proposal to a seller, they don't automatically just say no. They go, well, wait a minute, this might be a little different, because it will be if you follow our process. The bottom line is that preparedness makes all the difference. You need to be prepared to put your home in the market right away. Videos, photographs, cleaning, improvements, inspections, everything already done. Now, when you find a house, you're ready to go. Just so you know, a lot of sellers in that situation, no matter how well prepared you are, aren't even going to consider it. But the better prepared we are, the better chance you have that they'll consider it. Obviously, you don't have much leverage there. They might say, well, give us everything we want, give us a price, give us the terms, then we'll consider it. So you don't have much leverage in that type of situation. But you have had the luxury of looking at all the inventory for a few weeks, a few months, whatever, until you find that house. So you can look at all the inventory. You're really going to make one move, and negative side is you just don't have any leverage. The next step is go ahead and put your home on the market. Then find a home and make an offer. Now, the offer will be contingent on your home selling because it hasn't sold yet. You're still in a position with very little leverage. Still in a position where some sellers and listing agents won't even consider it. But again, the better prepared you are, the better chance they will consider your situation. And we have a process that'll help you do that. You don't have much leverage. Hopefully you're going to make one move, and you have a little bit limited inventory because you're only able to make an offer on what's available at that time while your home's on the market. I hope that makes sense. Now, here's another option. You put your home on the market, and after it goes under contract, then you make an offer on another home. Now, again, limited inventory because you only have what's available at that time. One move is pretty certain at this point, and you have improved your leverage because your home's under contract. So the seller and the listing agent are probably going to be a little more open to negotiating, but there still is extra risk. One transaction, I'm holding up 2 fingers, aren't I? One transaction is going to carry some risk. What if the buyer doesn't qualify? What if the survey doesn't come out clean? What if the title doesn't come out clean? What if you don't get past the option period? But instead they're dealing with 2, your buyer and you. So there is a little bit of extra risk, but you can take another step. Put your home on the market, wait until your buyer's past their option period, and then make your offer. Again, limited inventory, pretty certain you're going to make one move, and you have better leverage. Actually, the best leverage if you make an offer while your home is on the market or under contract. Because the seller and the listing agent know you're pretty certain to close at this point because your buyer has passed their option period. Now, here's the best leverage you'll get if you sell and then buy. Wait till your home closes. Move to temporary quarters, family, if not family, Airbnb, short-term rental. It's going to be a little more costly. You're going to put your belongings into storage or put them in the garage of your rental or whatever you're going to do. But you do have at that point, you can look at all the inventory, take your time, spend a few weeks, whatever you'd like to do. That is a two-move situation, and it is a little more costly, but to some people, it's simply worth it. And of course, you have the most leverage because there's nothing contingent. It's not contingent on your home going on the market or selling or closing. Now let's do the flip side. Buy and then sell. So this is path number 2, and there are several options within this path. Now, when you buy a home before yours sells, you are in a very different situation. If you follow our process, you will be pre-approved, you will have good leverage, you'll close on your new home and move in, and then put your home in the market. Now, if you're well prepared, like we will advise and guide you, you should sell your home in short order because the process we go through is extremely effective. You can do this when you buy and then sell. You can use your own funds if you have the wherewithal, savings, investments, whatever the case is, to buy the next house. You can also use equity in your home. And there's several ways to do that, which I will show you in a second. And there are third parties that will provide you the funds to buy the next home. We'll talk about that too. So if you use your funds, you're going to use savings or investments. You can also use equity in other property if you have other property. A lot of my clients have bought rentals from me over the years. I had a client who wanted to move to another home, make this smart size, and they were discussing how they were going to do it. And I said, well, don't you have equity in your rentals? Light bulb went on. Yes, they just took out a loan against one of their rentals and used it to buy the home. Then they put theirs on the market and sold it. And of course, you can get the typical new mortgage. Now, qualifications for the payment on a new mortgage and your current mortgage, if you have one, can be a little challenging. Most people can't actually qualify for that, but some people can. So you can use your funds by getting a new mortgage, putting your down payment and getting a mortgage, using equity from a rental property or other investments that you have, or savings. Another way to access the funds to buy a home before you sell yours is to unlock the equity you have in your current home. Some people have what's called a home equity line of credit, a HELOC, meaning you have money sitting there available to you. You can put a HELOC on your home and not use it. You can put a HELOC on your home and take part of it. Let's say your house is worth $800,000 and you owe $200,000. Well, let's say you take out a $200,000 line of credit. You still have $400,000 in equity, but let's just say that $200,000 you didn't really use it. You maybe remodeled your bathroom for 18 or 20 grand, and then you didn't use anymore. So you've got a nice lump sum of money sitting there. A lot of people have a HELOC in place and don't realize they can use it to buy the next home. Cash out refi. Same thing. If you have a house worth $800,000, you owe $200,000, you can simply refinance the whole thing and cash out. 75% is pretty typical. So if you take out a $600,000 loan, you owed $200,000, you have a nice chunk of money there that you can use to put as a down payment or buy the next home. And then a bridge loan is very common, has been for a long time. It's designed specifically to provide you funds so that you can do a very short-term loan, buy a home you're going to buy. When yours sells, you pay off your bridge loan. Now, there are a variety of terms, rates, and costs on these, and that's one of the things we would cover. Some of them would immediately be out. We'll be able to help guide you as to how to hone in on which of these options would be best for you. So during 2021 and 2022, these solutions came about because you wanting to buy a home and having one to sell was impossible. You could not buy a home if you had to sell one or close one because that seller had 3, 5, 10, 20 offers in hand, and they weren't going to choose one that had a contingency on it. So these solutions came about to help sellers get a home, move into it, and then sell theirs. There are 2 ways you can do that. And there are multiple third parties that are available to provide that service, meaning you get the funds to buy the house, and then you put yours on the market and sell it. And there's some programs that I think are just much better than others. Again, differing costs and terms. And if that's a solution you want to look at, we'll talk about that as well. Now, I did say in the post or the ad or the mailer that you got that I would talk about a fair fee in this video. So here we go. I tend to be blunt. My wife says I say that too much, but I do. I like to be very straightforward. If a real estate agent sells a house and helps you buy a house. That's a lot of fees. That's a lot of commissions. Agents used to call that double dipping, and they loved it. They got a full fee on both sides. Now, as time went by, sellers kind of got smart and thought about, well, you're doing 2 deals for me. Would you like to give me a little bit of a discount? So agents kind of started giving discounts, but they're not so much that they make a huge difference. It's just kind of a logistical thing. Well, it is easier to help you sell a home and buy a home than it is to help a buyer over there buy one and a seller over there sell one. So helping 2 people with 2 transactions is more demanding than helping one person do 2 transactions. So real estate agents tend to give discounts on a double transaction. They will reduce your listing commission by 1% if you do 2 transactions. But I'm going to tell you, if you calculate based on percentages what that real estate agent is going to make when they help you list and help you buy, it's a substantial amount of money. Today's prices with percentages in play adds up to a lot of money. So in order to provide a fair fee to our sellers, we've developed a flat fee. We feel like you pay a fair fee, we make a fair profit, commensurate with the overhead and the time, the effort, and the skill, and the experience. And it's far less than what you would pay if you pay percentages to real estate agents. We can talk about that in detail when we see you, but we want you to walk away from closing thinking, hey, I was dealt with fairly. Whereas most people who do this smart size, sell a home, buy a home, walk away from closing going, whoa, did you see the fee that real estate agent got? Because again, based on percentages, it is substantial. So I hope that helped. And I did throw another video up here. This is about the process that we help you go through in order to be super prepared. The better prepared you are, the better chance you have of reaching a successful closing in your purchase and your sale in a timely manner. If you're the type of person who likes to be prepared, you'll want to watch this video. Do like this video. It helps us tremendously with YouTube. Subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. And in the description below, you can get a copy of our Art of the Smart Size, which goes over a lot of what we discussed. Remember, it's your choice, so make it a powerful day, and may the Lord bless you and keep you.